morning and welcome to the AM News here on the AM Show. My name is Kwesi Schandorf. Now to our very first story. Parliament has approved a $750 million loan facility for government to finance capital and growth-related expenditures in the country. This loan is part of a $1 billion loan the minority had resisted for weeks. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta had told Parliament the country would have gone bankrupt without it. Part of this arrangement, a $250 million loan component is still outstanding following concerns of the majority. Minority, I beg your pardon. Our parliamentary correspondent Kwesi has more in the following report.
The minority in Parliament had resisted the approval of the facility, and for weeks, progress stalled on the deal. Government was in a desperate need of a $1 billion loan to shore the country's foreign reserve and also to support the 2022 budget. The major part of that deal, a $750 million loan to be sourced from the Afrexim Bank, has now been approved by Parliament.
As many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. All against, say no. Ayes have it. Mr. Speaker.
According to Chairman of the Finance Committee, Kwesi, his colleagues needed to approve the loan because it was critical to enable government to deliver on its responsibilities.
The committee, Mr. Speaker, having carefully examined the agreement, is convinced that the facility forms part of government's international capital market program aimed at raising funds to finance critical infrastructure projects in the 2022 budget. Accordingly, we urge this House to approve this motion and to approve this facility in order that we may reap the benefit that the facility would bring.
Ranking member on the Finance Committee, Dr. Kwesi explained what made the minority change their stance.
Mr. Speaker, as we speak, our debt is simply not sustainable, and it should be noted that this matter is of national importance and something that all of us will have to come together and deal with it. Mr. Speaker, as a result of the fact that our debt is not sustainable, investors have started panicking to the extent that some of them have started exiting our market. I do not have basis to reject this loan on the grounds that it is going to, in a way, support the reserves. Speaker, apart from that, I will have no basis to support this. But I agree that the $750 million is in the budget. And so it calls on all of us to support it. But Mr. Speaker, because of the debt sustainability issues, the minister must take steps to reduce government expenditure. So, Speaker, that is the elephant in the room. Speaker, with these few words, I support the motion. Thank you.
The majority insists, though, that the deal is extremely important to keep the government running.
No one in this chamber will doubt the fact that COVID and the Ukraine-Russia war has affected the world economy. Nobody would be in doubt of that fact. And I'm happy that our colleagues have not disputed this fact. Somewhere. We have begun from somewhere. We'll get somewhere. So, Mr. Speaker, these must be considered, and I believe that government in good faith will utilize these funds for the purpose intended.
One of the central arguments against the loan by the minority has been their concerns about what exactly the funds will be used for. Despite government listing a number of projects, some NDC MPs are still not enthused.
Mr. Speaker, there are projects that have listed here, and that need to be reconciled properly. We are aware that they came here for money to build stadium. They are still allocating money for the same stadium. There must be reconciliation. We are aware that they brought loans here to build Swami Interchange. They are still allocating money here for Swami Interchange. Mr. Speaker, we also know that Eastern Corridor Lots 5 and 6 is already on contract under a loan project. If this is the way you are going to, if you just want 750 million, tell us, and you want a blank check because your situation is hopeless, tell us to approve for you. Don't come and put things here you don't intend to do.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta had told Parliament that the country would have gone bankrupt if this $750 million component of the larger $1 billion deal was not approved by the House. This would have meant that the country would have gone the ways of countries like Sri Lanka, who do not have enough foreign reserve to purchase commodities on the international market. The chairman of the Finance Committee, Kwesi, had told JoyNews that without this amount of money, government would have struggled to pay salaries and meet its international debt obligations.
MP for Bongo Edward Bauer raised concerns about the quorum of the House, but was ignored.
Approve this. We don't.
Once again, the Deputy Speaker to take the chair.
And we don't have a quorum to approve this.
Now, a survey by the Advanced Local Leadership Innovation Network has revealed that less than 1% of farmers in the 4 regions of the north use the one village, one dam during the dry season. The data also shows that only 9% of commercial farmers use the one village, one dam program for commercial activities. Our Northern Regional correspondent Martina Bogri has more in the following report.
The Advanced Local Leadership Innovation and Network is implementing a 3-year project in 4 areas in different institutions in Ghana. The institutions include the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, and the University of Energy and Natural Resource, with collaborative research grants from their partners. The projects are to, among others, find out the impact of the irrigation on improved productivity and market value for smallholder farmers, evidence-based from the One Village, One Dam policy in Ghana, household resilience in northern Ghana using communication to reinforce nutrition outcomes and poverty reduction, among others. Speaking to the media, President and CEO of the International Center for Evaluation and Development, Dr. David Safo Amiao, said the data also showed 45% use the dams to feed their livestock.
If in the one dam, one district program, they go in, as you saw today, they were saying that only 9% of them use it for commercial activities. About 45 to 47% use it to feed their livestock. The question is, if we change the design, if we deepen it, if there's enough water during the dry season, are we going to see increase in commercialization? Are we going to see more livestock? Are we even going to see dry season, farming? Our data shows that it's almost zero. People who are using the dam to do dry season is very minimal.
The principal investigator for the One Village, One Dam evaluation project, Professor Charles Amwate, said most of the communities use the dams for household use instead of their intended purpose.
The GIMPA team, we are doing the evaluation of the One Village, One Dam. It's a very interesting initiative considering that a lot of farmers rely on rainfall for their farming activities, but over the years the rainfall pattern has been very unpredictable, meaning that they are unable to do dry season farming. So this policy was meant to address that challenge, to provide source of water for dry season farming. But we have observed few issues with the design of the dam. Relatively they are smaller, and also so it does not provide the needed water capacity that is needed for farming. We also realized that most of the communities we visited were relying on the dam water for drinking water and for their livestock. So they do not encourage the farmers to use the water because it's not enough to serve the purpose. And so we think that going forward, government should consider the possibility of either building more of the dams or building bigger dams so that we can have a higher retaining capacity of the dams, enough to be able to serve the purpose of dry season farming.
Now let's still stay in the Northern Region, where the Northern Regional Peace Council has engaged micro, medium and small-scale enterprises in Sanyerugu as part of efforts to stem violent extremism. The council says that these people will be the first point of contact in the event of any extremist attack. Martina Bugri has more in this report.
Speaking to Joy News at the opening ceremony of a 3-day training workshop in Tamale, the Deputy Director of Programs at the Northern Regional Peace Council, Nuhu Abukari, said studies in other jurisdictions show extremists use business enterprises as entry points in their operations.
Rationale for the 3-day training for the micro, small, and then medium enterprises is to build resilience for the prevention of violent extremism. Studies have revealed that in other areas, extremists use business enterprises as an entry point because they need some of the items that they trade, and they also deal with them in terms of selling either their products or buying food items. So the business enterprises are more likely to encounter them either at the border areas or at the market centers.
A speech delivered by a member of the Northern Region Peace Council, Ajia Ajarateli, on behalf of the chairman of the Peace Council, Reverend Philip Name, said the location of Ghana within the Sahel region makes Ghana vulnerable to violent extremism organizations and call for a multifaceted approach to deal with the canker.
The location of Ghana within the Sahel region makes Ghana vulnerable to violent extremist organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot ignore this threat or wish it away. Preventing violent extremism through addressing drivers and enablers is a must and require multifaceted responses across government and beyond. That includes working with national stakeholders, local government and traditional authorities, religious leaders, civil society organizations, academia, medium and small enterprises, as well as the communities.
The municipal chief executive for the Sanergo municipality, Mohamed Polo, on his part said violent extremism cannot be defeated with only a military base.
It is clear that violent extremism will not and cannot be defeated by a military base alone. That is why I'm happy that the focus of this workshop is to strengthen and build the capacity of women and the youth to rise above the conditions that cause them to be lured into violent extremism.
Now, it's been exactly 3 years since the Joy Clean Ghana campaign began. Now, 3 years after this initiative, JoyNews' Michael Papani-Ashale has been touring some restaurants and eateries to assess the impact of the initiative. He did the tour with the Accra Metropolitan Assembly.
We have found out that their medical certificates are not here, and she is telling me that all their cars are at Abeka, that is where their head office is. And she herself being the manager, she hasn't also done it. And she's telling me she did hers in Kumasi. When we are done with the inspections and we don't see the cars, we are going to lock down up the place.
About a year ago, when officials of the AMA sanitation team were compelled to shut down the Las Palmas restaurant.
To Las Palmas is an eatery place where a lot of people patronize. Looking at their louvers was very dirty. There's no toilet facility in here. Tomorrow morning, the officer in charge here will be here with the sanitation task force to come and lock the place.
Despite their shock and disappointment, the management of the eating place promised to bounce back, but this required some tough measures, including job losses. The tough love appears to have paid off, as the AMA team is now impressed with the state of the restaurant.
Now the toilet has been provided because we couldn't understand why a restaurant should be there without a sanitary facility. So it was one of the things that we closed out the place, but it has been provided. So, yeah.
Okay. So you've seen the toilet facility for yourself. Florence, what are you heading to right now?
We are going to the customers' washroom.
Did you check that place out the last time that you came here?
There weren't none. They had a room, but it was not in operation.
There was no place for them to clean up after themselves?
There wasn't any urinal when we came. Yes, but now they have a urinal, and the septic tank is at the back.
It's also beside the point that they just have a urinal. What is the state of the urinal? Is it satisfactory?
The urinal is okay, yes. It is in good condition. They've cleaned the place, it's neat.
On their part, new manager of the place explains the response has been great. But maybe say a day no but omo bounce and duane de zia de no mo ka won environment so most sun net no in once na ni ha ni sa nyama no then omo ba de no mo ka chiro
mo si ade ye siesie ha no mama ye ha no ma ye fine ti yen ko so ana ye ne so
duane no it is maybe so mo what would be your overall assessment at the time when you came 6 months ago? How would you rate them at the time?
In fact, at the time I would have rated them 35, but today I can rate them 75. Yes,
the remaining
A. That is an A. They still need to work on it. As you can see, they are still working around.
The team then visited the OA bus terminal, which previously had its washroom in a deplorable state.
So this place, the last time we came, we closed it down because they had broken WCs and there were more or less, what will I say, weapons on their own. So this place was closed down for 24 hours. And within 24 hours, all the WC bowls were removed and they turned the place into a poor flash.
Our last week that we came, I think we've come for re-inspection. We realized that they refixed all the water closets. So now they've changed the water closet to a poor flash type. So this one, there is constant water supply there that they will use the water to flush it.
Manager of the facility is convinced their routine monitoring and cleaning system is yielding results.
Right now, everything is intact. I'm checking them day in and day out to do what is proper for the public. So because of the guy which has been employed, the newly boy, he used to do those things for us, which is, to our satisfaction.
But ever since you changed this, what have your customers been telling you?
They've been telling us the place looks so nice and beautiful.
The new state of the Circle branch of Las Palmas and the washroom at OA Bus Terminal are just two of the many success stories of the Joy Clean Ghana campaign. It appears not everyone got the Clean Ghana memo. What's happening here?
So what is happening here is you can see it's like it rains and there was flooding. So when there was flooding, the water entered all the water and they are washing it and repackaging it. How can you know that there is no microorganisms that has found their way inside here? And then you repack it and how can you even just see they've washed but it's not properly washed? So you can see the kind of things we are eating from outside. Should we stop buying things outside?
What's your name?
Abdul Latif. What happened is last 2 months ago in May 29, there was a big flood here, so we received a lot of water. When it rainfalls, we normally consider a lot of water here. So this is what happened to us here.
So because of the floods, they got dirty and you're washing them. But that's 2 months ago. Why are you washing it now?
We have a lot of problem here, so we are going through.
So it means that you've already sold some that you've already repacked?
Yes, sir.
Florence, how disturbing is this really for you?
It's very, very disturbing. It's very, very, very. You see, he's doing it indirectly. He is hiding behind his own money. And people are using money to buy their own sickness. Why should you do that, Daddy?
If I said I have an idea for it that I will sell a bad thing to someone, I've lied to the creator. And I will never do that. But once that you have came in and advising us not to do that, we also take a step. If I say I really have an idea, I know that if I watch them, because I think personally that is a mad, so I just need to watch them.
Since when did you start repackaging them?
That was last month. Yeah, last month.
We will do check and then ensure that everything that in there, there's no expired product in there. You haven't repackaged anything. So now, please, if you have anything inside the shop, just go inside and take your things. We are locking the shop.
Which of them?
All the two. All.
We don't have any problem here. If you can lock
we cannot attest. So you just take your things and we are locking all the two, please.
Well, this is just one more reason why, despite the successes chalked so far, the struggle continues. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
Now, 3 brilliant but needy students have benefited from a scholarship facility from the Alumni Association of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The facility will cater for the accommodation, cost of feeding, as well as tuition. Lab FM's Kwesi has more in the following report.
3 beneficiaries of the scholarships are Miss Faustina Boateng, a BSc midwifery student, Miss Ruth Anagmusi, a BSc medical laboratory technology student, and Lambon Ruben, an aquaculture and water resource management student. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Rita Kusia Dixon, emphasized the importance of students' welfare to the sustainable development of the nation. She also urged other chapters of the alumni to come on board.
And we will continue to ask for more. Because as for the poor and needy, we will always have them amongst us. So today you are doing 3. Our brother from North America, the target to do 20. I would even challenge you that don't add yours to the 20 that they will be doing locally. Do 20 out there and then gradually sell the story to the other chapters and let them all come to KNUST, let them come home and assist these young ones. When we are sure about their future, then the future of this country and the world is also assured.
The president of the Global Association of Alumni, Dr. Kwesi, expressed the desires of the association to increase the beneficiaries of the scholarship scheme in the coming years.
Our target is to be able to at least support 20 students every academic year so that we can be more impactful and support the good works being done by the VC and the management. And the only thing we can do is to help her to succeed so that we will not become the 14th best in the world, but we will become the best in the world.
On behalf of the beneficiaries, Ms. Faustina Boateng expressed a profound gratitude to the association and encouraged the association to do more for other students.
On behalf of my brother and my sister, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. God richly bless you all for your doing, and we hope you do more for others. We are really grateful. We're not expecting this. I say thank you so much. I don't know how to say this, but thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. We're all thinking about, even sometimes what to eat is even a problem. The fees we are paying, they're asking for registration fees, we'll be calling home, a whole lot of things. Sometimes we cry inside as we pray. Oh God, also bless God for this opportunity.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
That's all for the bulletin. The show continues with Benjamin Akakpo and Benis Abubedu Lanza. Do stay.